Is proposing several cuts to the nation's food stamp program. Food banks are now preparing to feed more hungry mouths, while school districts say they are expecting to jump through lots more hoops. Walter Smith Randolph shows us how these cuts could lead to more poverty. And this is the latest in our ongoing series, Childhood Poverty, Cincinnati's Crisis.
At the Freestore Foodbank, Kurt Reiber is gearing up to fill the gap.
In the 20 counties served by the Freestore Foodbank, there's a need of about 50 million meals by 270,000 of our neighbors.
The CEO of the Cincinnati-based food bank says despite low unemployment numbers and record increases in the stock market, Freestore saw a 24% increase in people using the food bank.
70% of the families we serve are working. The problem is that they're working in part-time jobs. So when they have a car breakdown or a child getting sick, utility bills are out of sight, they end up spending the money they would have spent on food on those items. It's this gig economy.
With more cuts proposed to the nation's food stamps program, Reiber says the need will only grow.
When economic shock hits, everybody's going to be impacted.
The Trump administration is proposing 3 changes to food stamps this year. The first change would be new work requirements for able-bodied adults, which could result in 700,000 people losing food stamp benefits. The second change would cut down on automatic enrollment in food stamps for people who qualify for other aid programs. That could lead to 3 million people losing benefits. The third rule would change income calculations, which could affect another 3 million people.
We may say that the adults have made bad choices and should be held more accountable, but what are you going to do about those kids? Those are the kids that are going to be impacted by these cuts.
These proposed SNAP benefits go beyond just affecting food banks. They would also affect school districts. Students who typically qualify for free or reduced price lunch would have to reapply, and that would create more red tape, more paperwork, and more hunger.
Without the SNAP benefits, those students are no longer directly certified to receive a free meal, which means the plethora of paperwork comes back into play, where there's paperwork to the parents, paperwork back to the school, paperwork back to the department, paperwork back to the state, paperwork back to us, before it finally becomes a benefit we can provide to the students.
Jessica Shelley is Director of Student Dining Services for the Cincinnati Public Schools. She worries food stamp cuts might lead to more hungry students.
You can't listen to your math teacher teach you a problem when you're listening to your stomach rumble.
Back at the food bank, Reiber says the cuts could also have a trickle-down effect on the local economy.
The Krogers, the Myers, the Remkes, all those folks are going to be impacted too, because whatever additional dollars that would have come in here via the SNAP benefits are not going to come into this economy, and that may impact some of the workers that they have in their offices as well.
While food banks, schools, and supermarkets wait to see how the proposed cuts will shake out, Reiber says the food bank is fundraising and preparing to try and fill the gap.
Every dollar that we get in allows us to provide up to 3 meals, and that really helps leverage the resources that are available to the families that we're serving.
Thank you, son.
In the West End, Walter Smith Randolph, Local 12 News.
And the proposed food stamp cuts are not expected to go into effect until April of 2020. 36 million people now receive aid from the food stamp program, which is down from 40 million people just 2 years ago.